We're down here on the ramp at KSAN. So we have reinstalled, prepared version 4.5. So with that install, wiped everything out, completely took out Orbx, and we're going to do a series now, just looking at what Orbx does to your frames per second. What does it do to the performance? What is it doing as we install this stuff? And we're going to add piece by piece as we go through this series. But we're going to start off with what we've got with nothing. So no Orbx installed. And we'll do it from lovely KSAN, since I've done lots of flights in and out of here already on the feeds. All right, so let's go ahead, mixture rich, why not? Flaps are set, and make sure that our fuel is on, and there we go. We are started up. All right, let's get our avionics on. Torpedo, go ahead, landing light on. We'll get our nav lights and our beacon on. All right, well, all that is nicely coming about. So we're sitting here, we're locking nicely to about 50-60 frames per second, which is what we're trying to lock to. And let's see, the off then the on. Does the 750 come back? There it goes. It is coming back. All right, well, here we are with the default scenery for KSAN. All right, so nearest KSAN, ATIS. Swap it.
Lindbergh, airport information, Zulu 1603, Zulu, wind 289er, S9er, visibility 13, sky condition, view clouds at 1,900, view clouds at 5,000, temperature 2 warp, dew point 19er, altimeter 29er, warp, visual, runway 27 in use, landing and departing, runway 27, VFR aircraft.
Alright, so weather's got us at 27. So we're going to go ahead and go to our map. And we can see on our map what we've got here for an airport. Whoa. And we don't see any of the buildings. We're not seeing any of the terminal buildings that should be here. Definitely are depicted down here. But that's okay. We're going to roll out. We're still rolling with, what do we got? About 60 frames. 60 frames. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Charlie 2 should be right here on our right. But of course, it doesn't show up in the default scenery. So we're going to have to roll down all the way to Charlie 1. Now, at least the signage is pretty good. I guess that was something I never noticed before, but they did at least put in some decent signage. So I did not install the HD Airports add-on. All right, so here we are on 2.7. Go ahead and put in our flaps. Now overall, it does look like a bunch of the, some of the textures, the default textures, don't look too shabby. And we're holding in the high 50s, low 60s, 60, 63. So that's looking good. All right, we're off the ground. Go ahead and get our gear up. And go ahead and get our flaps up. So from a default standpoint, go ahead and just power back a little bit. We don't need a lot of speed. From a default standpoint, we can see that the terminal buildings are just kind of blocks, nothing special. The runway textures are a little bit better, but you know, not really everything that it's cracked up to be. Hey, there was something that kind of goes away when you install the other KSAN. There's the aircraft carrier. That's pretty cool. We'll just come on down. But as you can see, we're flying around the Bay Area. We're in the high 50s, low 60s, 1080p, multi-monitors, lots of that stuff. Let's not hit the aircraft carrier. Super flyable, right? We're trying to be VSync to 60 frames per second to match the display. Definitely smooth, feels good. You know, high 50s, 60s. It's definitely very, very smooth. All right, go ahead and get those gear down, get our flaps down. Yes, we were just in the flaps range. And we'll go full flaps. Nicely coordinated turn. It's a nice shadow. Definitely a good frame rates. Wind is definitely coming from our right. Excellent. Get ourselves aligned with that runway. All right, so yeah, with that, I think we could say, okay, so far so good. So let's roll off the runway and let's all right, so now we've got the product libraries installed and we have the global base pack installed. So with those, there is nothing to do with any kind of a control panel. Now, we could install vector and trees and do that right now, but we want to do this in stages. And see exactly how it all comes together. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to use the same day. We are going to change airport. We're going to go to KSAN. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go with the active runway this time. I'm not really concerned about taxiing out. Back on the ramp we are. All right. Well, here we are on the ramp, and definitely seeing a quick change in our frames per second. Our FPS is now at 30. Wow. How is it now at 30? So strange. All right, so what we found actually was that in the display settings for that monitor, advanced display settings, it had turned the refresh rate off of 60 hertz back to 30 hertz. So for some reason it was into 30 hertz, and that was slowing down our frames per second. So far, with global installed, we'll go ahead and get airborne. No point in sitting on the ground. Everything's so much better in the air. Knots cross-checked. Let's get the gear up, and we'll get those flaps up. All right, so first things first, we're gonna fly off over here. Nicely holding up in those 60s. Yeah, so global, definitely not changing these airports, obviously, and not changing the land class. So the smoothness is fantastic. Obviously, looking at these buildings, I think the buildings look a little bit better, so that might be from the global. As well as the libraries. Yeah. Not 100% sure. I'll have to check the video. Do those runways look better flying over them? And then, of course, we come around to downtown. 40s, 50s. We may stabilize again, but yeah. Water reflections look nice. There's that aircraft carrier. The downtown area. And there's that cruise ship. So definitely some more buildings and things, I think, being put out there. Higher resolution textures. We can see that we peaked back up to 60, so maybe some of the water was causing some of it. There's the stadium again. So we're in the 50s, still very playable, smooth. Mid 50s, low 50s. Let's go and get full flaps. And let's get our gear down. That would help as well. Make sure we don't cram her. Well, there's our shadow. High 40s, low 50s. We are definitely going to end up floating this. Oh, we lost the pappy lights. All right, let's bleed. All right. Well, there you have it. Back to the 60s. Decent amount of that. And again, we are using Active Sky. So this is the real-time weather from Active Sky. That was being added from the beginning, whether or not there was Orbx. Because, well, we want real-time clouds. All right, so on the next one, we'll make sure to start locking in Active Sky profiles and keeping it set for historic weather. With that, we're going to go into the next one in episode 2, where we're going to cover the upgrade when we add Vector and see what global vector adds for us and any type of performance hit that global vector is going to do for us. All right, don't forget, hit that like button. If you haven't, subscribe because you don't want to miss the next one.